Okay, real talk. You're scrolling through Instagram, and literally everyone around you seems to be posting couple pictures, going on dates, talking about their situationships, and somewhere in the back of your mind, you're thinking, what's the big deal? It's just a relationship, right? Maybe you've even had someone say to you, "It's 2024, bro, times have changed. Why is Islam so strict about this?" And honestly, that's a fair question, and it deserves a real, honest answer. So today, no lectures, no guilt trips. Let's actually talk about why Islam prohibits dating and boyfriend-girlfriend relationships, and what it's genuinely trying to protect you from. Because trust me, the wisdom behind this is deeper than you think. Assalamu Alaikum, everyone. Welcome back. I want to start by saying something important. This video is not here to shame anyone. If you've been in a relationship, or you're curious about this topic, or someone you know is going through this is a safe space. We're just going to talk, openly and honestly, from an Islamic perspective. Because here's the truth. Allah, SWT, didn't give us rules to make our lives boring or miserable. Every single boundary in Islam exists to protect us. And when it comes to relationships, the protection is real, it's deep, and it makes complete sense, if you're willing to look at it clearly. Let's get into it. So first, what does Islam actually say about this? Islam does not prohibit love. Let's be very clear about that. Islam celebrates love, encourages marriage, and recognizes that human beings have natural feelings and desires. That's completely normal and completely halal. What Islam prohibits is the pathway of acting on those feelings outside of marriage, through dating, physical relationships, emotional entanglement with non-mahrams, and the boyfriend-girlfriend dynamic. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in Surah Al-Isra, Ayah 32, "And do not approach unlawful sexual intercourse. Indeed, it is ever an immorality and is evil as a way." Surah Al-Isra 17:32. Notice, Allah doesn't just say, don't commit zina. He says, don't even approach it. Don't go near it. Don't take the steps that lead to it. And what is dating, if not exactly that? It's the road that leads there. Alone time with someone you're attracted to. Deep emotional bonds. Physical closeness. It's a path. And Allah is telling us, don't even start walking it. The Prophet also said, no man should be alone with a woman, and no woman should travel a woman, and except with a mahram. Bukhari and Muslim. Because Islam understands human nature better than we give it credit for. Now let's talk about something nobody really warns you about, the emotional damage. When you get into a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, you open your heart completely to someone. You share your secrets, your vulnerabilities, your dreams. You build your emotional world around this person. And then, most of the time, it ends. And when it ends, it doesn't just hurt. It leaves marks, anxiety, trust issues, comparing every new person to your ex, feeling like you're broken or not enough. Some people carry the emotional weight of failed relationships for years, into their marriages, into their parenting, into their daily mental health. Psychologists actually have a term for this. It's called emotional baggage. And the more relationships you go through before marriage, the more baggage you carry. Islam saw this coming 1400 years ago. By reserving emotional intimacy for your spouse, the one person who has made a covenant with you before Allah, you protect your heart. You walk into your marriage whole. You give your full self to one person, not the leftover version of yourself after heartbreak after heartbreak. Subhanallah. That's not restriction. that's mercy. What it does to your deen. Here's something that doesn't get talked about enough. What dating does to your relationship with Allah. When you're in a haram relationship, you know deep down that something isn't right. And that guilt creates distance between you and Allah. You start missing salah because it feels hypocritical. You stop making dua because you feel unworthy. You pull away from the masjid, from Islamic content, from your Muslim friends. Shaitan doesn't need to drag you away from Islam dramatically. He just needs to make you feel too ashamed to come back. And a haram relationship is one of his favorite tools for exactly that. The Prophet said, "When a person commits zina, Iman leaves him like a garment is removed." Abu Dawud. It weakens your connection to Allah step by step. And most of the time, you don't even notice it's happening until you look back and realize how far you've drifted.
Let's also be real about the practical consequences. Secret relationships mean lying to your parents, to your family, sometimes to your friends. And living a double life is exhausting. It creates anxiety, stress, and a constant fear of being is found out. You're always one text notification away from your whole world collapsing. Then there's the issue of boundaries. Physical boundaries that are very easy to cross when you're alone with someone you have feelings for. What starts as just talking almost never stays there. And once physical boundaries are crossed, it creates attachments, complications, and consequences that affect your life in very real ways. And for sisters especially, the vulnerability is even greater. Being emotionally invested in someone who has made no commitment to you, no contract before Allah, no responsibility. You are giving everything while he has given nothing binding in return. Islam says you deserve better than that. You deserve someone who commits to you properly, publicly, and before Allah. That's called Nikah, and it's the most beautiful protection Islam gives to love. Now, and this is important, Islam is not saying suppress your feelings and just be alone forever. Not at all. Islam gives us a beautiful alternative. If you meet someone you're interested in, Islam allows you to express that interest through proper channels, with the involvement of families, in a to halal environment, with the intention of marriage. This is not the cold, transactional process people sometimes imagine. Many Muslim couples today describe the process of getting to know their spouse through halal means as one of the most exciting and meaningful experiences of their lives. There's something incredibly special about building a real relationship after commitment, growing together, discovering each other, falling deeper in love with someone who is already yours before Allah. The Prophet said, "There is nothing like marriage for two people who love each other." Ibn Majah. That love, built on halal foundations, blessed by Allah, is something no haram relationship can ever give you. So Islam isn't closing a door, it's directing you to a better one. Brothers and sisters, if you're watching this and you're currently in a situation that you know isn't halal, I want you to hear this. Allah's door of tawbah is always open, always. There is no sin too big for His mercy, no mistake too deep for His forgiveness. The fact that you're watching this, that you're thinking about this, that itself is a sign that your heart is still connected to Allah. Make the intention to do better. Make dua. Seek halal means. And trust that what Allah has written for you is far more beautiful than anything you could chase on your own. If this video helped you or made you think, please share it. Because there's a young Muslim somewhere who needs to hear this today. Drop a comment at below. I read every single one. And if you want me to make a video on how to navigate the halal marriage process, let me know. Jazakallahu khairan. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.